Thank you. We're going to get this kicked off. We're trying to kick it off right at 2 o'clock. We are here to do the presentation for Why Should We Consolidate Our Schools. My name is Brendan McKee. I'm one of the spokespersons for this group, standing in front of you today. Might be a little rough crowd, but we're here anyway. I do want to bring up, we will answer everybody's questions. We will answer them right after we're done with the presentation. We're asking please not to interrupt the main presentation, because there's some people who might have to get somewhere. So we want to make sure we get through that. In the back, you will have some people who have note cards and pencils. If you want to write something down, raise your hand if you didn't bring something to write down. But if you're going to write it down yourself, please, I need it on a card so I can read it back, and I want to answer the question. So we're going to read the question, and then we're going to answer the question. Has everybody got that? So please, let's not interrupt the presentation until we get done. All right, the question is, why should we consolidate? An Illinois State Board of Education study paper identified 3 goals of consolidation. Okay, then 3 goals are the same that any parent, grandparent, or taxpayer would want. Them are, sorry about that, we always got computer problems. Them 3 goals are to produce an improvement in the quality of our educational programs. Everybody would like to have that.
Tell them we're video on this.
Oh, I do want to give a little disclaimer here. This gentleman back here is videotaping this. So if anybody has a problem with that, please let me know. So we'll get that out of the way. 2, to extend the scope of the programs to meet individual student needs within an ever-changing society. We have an ever-changing society with technology the way it is today, with computers and such, trying to keep abreast of the age. 3, to complement the development of the most efficient and equitable system of financing public education. You know what? I've done this presentation a bunch and never had many problems that we're having here. All of these are on page 84 of the current study. And you noticed all the way throughout the presentation that we put reference where that come from. So it's easy to referenceable information for you to go find. No doubt consolidation will improve our children's education. The following 10 slides outline the facts in the recent consolidation study. We might add that these facts are the exact same ones that were quoted in the 1999 study. That 1999 study, very few people seen. The last statement on that 1999 study was, it's of vital importance that this information gets to the community. We're under the belief that that did not happen. And that's why we're out here today, making sure that what is in this current study is relayed to the public so they can make an educated vote. Point 1, curriculum coordination between the elementary buildings and junior highs would have a higher degree of coordination of curriculum programs leading into the high school years. This is our number 1 concern with our education. We have 2 separate elementary feeder districts feeding into the high school, and some of them are on different levels when they get there. The high school teachers have all told us about this. It's a big concern up there. It takes a while for them to get everything all onto the same page, get these kids lined out. That directly affects our child's education. And we have to look at our children's education not from a K through 8th perspective, but from a K through 12 perspective. Because that's what we have as a K through 12. That's what we have to look at. So this is one of our main concerns. That's why curriculum is our number 1 goal, alignment of the curriculum. Study point 2, curriculum articulation between the elementary feeder districts would be guaranteed in a unit district. It is not guaranteed in dual districts. It's eliminating various textbooks, testing programs, and grading procedures that are inherent in separate feeder elementary districts. Again, you notice it is referenced to the page number in the study. Point 3, a unit district provides the structure for a rational distribution of resources where they are needed. Dual districts lack the capacity to prioritize and properly allocate the total resources. And you can read the rest of that quote. That's a pretty long quote, and I apologize to this group. I'm stepping right in front of you all the time. Point 4, additional students in the district provide the opportunities for increased extracurricular activities and may increase efficiency in meeting the special needs of students. It will increase our efficiency across this area. There's no doubt about that. Point 5, as an organizational design, a K through 12 district offers a better opportunity for pupil and cost efficiencies. Point 6, by reducing the number of school districts covering the same geographic and tax base, the competition for our limited resources is reduced. What is that competition for? What's limited resources? That's our tax dollar. 7, reorganization feasibility studies conducted by the former ISBE clearly demonstrate that the formation unit districts will allow certain efficiency in the use of resources. Point 8, formation of a unit district would undoubtedly result in a more efficient use of existing facilities and staff. That it would. Point 9, all 3 districts have shifted their focus to the current curriculum alignment to the Illinois Learning Standards. In a reorganization, this in turn will help better prepare all students for the Illinois Standards Achievement Test, and you can see through the grade levels that it would assist. Point 10, in reality, I wish we could just start with this one, but a lot of people like to see the other ones. I believe this one sums up the whole picture. The curriculum alignment work is out of sync because districts have not previously worked together as they would if they were merged. As a result, there is no complete pre-K through 12 alignment of any subject area with the Illinois Learning Standards. As of today, the last teacher institute that was done, one school district still did not participate, even though they know this is the issue out that we're looking at really hard. Still did not participate to get all our children on the same level. We hated to go to this slide, but our opponents have brought up test scores. So we're going to delve into this, but I want to clarify this one thing. Our teachers are good. Our teachers are just as good in this area as are in any school district around. Okay? It's the antiquated system that they're working under. That's the problem. Our teachers are good. Everybody on my committee will stand behind us and say that our teachers are excellent. It's the system that we're forced to work under. This is a 9-year average of our ACT scores taken off the 2002 to 2010 Illinois State Board of Education report cards. As you can see, we are the lowest. And we're not just low by a little bit. We are low by a pretty good margin. It takes a 21 ACT to get into most colleges. We are sending our average score out of our high school is 17.9% over a 9-year average. We have to look at our kids' education from K through 12. That's what we must be looking at. I want to talk a little bit about something. There was a comment about why did we use these comparables? These comparables were used because they were in the Telegraph area. There was a statement in the Telegraph talks about, why didn't we use Venice and Madison? Well, we don't consider Venice and Madison in the Telegraph area, first of all. And second of all, on top of that, we don't consider Venice and Madison the socioeconomic conditions that we have. But we went and looked at Madison and Venice just because it was brought up in the paper, because if anything's thrown out there, we want to research it to make sure the information we have is accurate. Let's look at Venice. What they're quoting in the Venice, when you look at their website, on their ISBE website, you will only find 80 students in that school district. You will find 80 students because their high school is basically disbanded by the state and they're being sent to other school districts. So I don't think that's a fair one to look at. Now let's look at Madison. We went and looked at Madison. Madison is a K through 12 school district. It is a unit district, has a high tax rate for a unit school district. But let's look at why. It's easily obtainable. When you look at the first page, their assessed evaluation per pupil is $33,000. That is 1/3 of what our assessed evaluation is, and assessed evaluation kind of drives the tax rate. So that's why, but that is so much higher there. But we don't think that was even a fair comparison. Here's the 9-year ISAT overall score. And I want to give credit where credit is always due. Our teachers have made an excellent push here in the last 2 or 3 years. They've done an excellent job of beating this up and improving these scores. Professor Hoffman made a good comment in reference to the scores. She said our scores are doing great, I believe. Well, they are doing good, but I don't think I would consider great. When you look at our scores, here's where we stand on a 9-year average. When we look at them test scores, we are in the bottom 3. The bottom 3. When we look at the test scores for them ISATs, that Professor Hoffman said was doing good, we are actually the 3rd and 4th from the bottom when you look at our comparables. Is that doing great? It's doing good. I wouldn't consider it doing great, and they made great improvements. I want to reemphasize, our teachers, we believe, are good.